Well, this wonderful thing has blessed me with its presence in the shop once more. So, this is my livestock trailer. It's a 16-foot Corn Pro. Just not a bad trailer, but it's not a great trailer either. My grandpa gifted this wonderful, beautiful thing to me after the rear axle mounts rusted out on it. It might even been a little bit before that. This trailer, still a fairly decent trailer, but it has its issues. When we replaced the rear axle mounts, I didn't get them quite straight enough, so it dog tracks a little bit, and it will eventually wear the tires out. But good thing we don't pull this trailer all that much. I think I used it one time last year, and yeah, that's all it's been used in probably 2 years. But I need it. My grandpa, after he gave me this one, he bought a little bitty short stubby one, and I used that, and he sold it because he's like, I don't need a livestock trailer, so I'm just gonna sell it. So he sold his, and I don't have the use of a really good one anymore, so I'm resorted to fixing this one again. And it needs lights. The mice have done wonders to the wiring, and it's dark over here. Let me show you. Let me get a flashlight. The mice have done wonders to this trailer. You won't be able to see right there, but that's factory wiring all jumbled up. But see that? Oh, look, there's a wasp nest in there, but that's all bare wires. They've chewed all the insulation off the wires, which explains why before this trailer broke its mounts there, I had all kinds of issues. It would intermittently work, the lights would, and my temporary fix was to put them magnetic deals on there, but on their best day they don't work good. So it's time I wire this stupid thing, and I really don't want to wire it because it's going to be a pain. All the wires are run through tube, and I'm not looking forward to it. That, and it needs some body work. That fender's gone because it rusted out, so I cut it off, and it's got that rust hole in it there. I got stuff to fix that, but that's not gonna happen probably, honestly, ever. I just need lights to be able to pull it. So what I'm going to do is my main focus is I need 2 tail lights, and I want a rear marker light, and it's got 2 rear marker lights on each side. So if I can get one of the 2 to work, and honestly I might even just drill and put my little 3/4 lights right next to the tail light and be done with that. And you're supposed to have a clearance light. I have an LED one. That one got broke because when I went to bring this trailer into the barn to fix the axle, it let loose from the truck because I didn't have the right sized ball, and it smashed into the side of the barn. Whoops. So I'm gonna have to wire that light, and probably the stupid license plate light that I don't even know if it works. But it's got fender lights. I'm not worried about those. The fenders are probably going to come off this thing before too long. It's got lights right here. I don't care about them. It's got some yellow reflective tape. I'll put some more yellow reflective tape on it. I got some DOT tape I'll put on it. I'm only concerned about the back end. So that's enough talking about it. I just need to tear into it and go, because I'm not motivated at all to work on this. But it needs done. I need to use it, and it's got to go on a fairly long trip. So let's get at it. So I couldn't decide where I wanted to start, at the front or at the back, because I'm going to try to reuse as much of the wiring at the front. I think I'm only taking this, so this is a 7-wire trailer because it has electric brakes and it's got an accessory and all that good stuff, but I'm taking it down to 4-wire. I don't run the brakes. I don't run this trailer heavy enough ever that the truck can't stop it. The most I've had in it was 3 cows. That's 3,000 pounds roughly that I had in here, so I ain't too concerned about the brakes. So we're going down to 4-wire. If I have enough wire, I might just run the 4-pin style connector if I have one. If not, I'm just going to wire the 4 wires into a 7-pin and call it good. So I couldn't figure out to start at the front or the back, so I started at the top and come down. So we got our 84-inch wide clearance light, whatever that it's a legality light is what it is. And I mean, it makes sure that, you know, people don't realize it's motorcycles so they can't drive between them, dumb stuff like that. I call it a legality light. The license plate light is another legality light. I see all kinds of stuff that doesn't have license plate lights on it, and I got both those lights are wired in with the original running light harness. I ran a dedicated ground from the clearance light down. It was a wire that was already there. It's a red wire down here. That one's, the license plate light is grounded through the trailer. If it works, it works. If it don't, I don't really care. I didn't want to have to try to screw around running another wire trying to splice that dumb thing into there, so I'm pretty sure it doesn't even really shine on the license plate to where you can see it. I was told by a cop, as long as they can shine their lights on it and see it, it's good to go. So I pulled all the other clearance lights out, pulled that one out, pulled that one out, same on the other side, stripped all the wiring out of this thing, and I put in my little 3/4 inch light on both sides, just below where the original one was. I don't think I'm going to put another one up top. I don't honestly think I need height clearance lights. I don't really pull this thing at night. These are just in case I get stuck at night, and you gotta have tail lights. So if not, it won't be anything hard to wire it back in, but I'm going to take DOT tape and cover up the holes from the old clearance lights, and that way those holes aren't there, because that'll bother me. And then at the front, I may or may not put some yellow lights, but we'll see when we get there. So what I got to do now is I've got to wire in the plugs for the LED tail lights and figure out which route I want to go with my wire. I'm going to go down below instead of up and back and down, and I won't use up as much wire, so I'll be drilling holes through every cross member on the trailer and running it through there. That's just going to be the easiest and fastest, and if something gets hung up or broke, it'll be easy to fix. I'll be able to see it in these tubes. I can't see if they're chewed up or not. I'm just hoping that wire that I used in there is not chewed up. It didn't look chewed up where other wires were chewed up, because there was a nest right here. I pulled the nest out, a couple wires were chewed off, but these ones didn't look bad. That was half the reason I pulled the clearance lights out, or I would have left them in there. So, but now let's get these wired in. All right, we got that side wired up, got our wire run across the bottom, and then we got our wire running up that we're going to run to the front, and it doesn't look like I'm going to have enough wire to run to the front, so hopefully there's enough in the wire that's up there to meet them. If not, I think our temporary lights, because I don't think they work anymore, I think they're going to be wire donors. But we're this far. Let's check our progress, shall we, and make sure the other side works. Well, we got running lights. We got that light. Like I said, that light's not going to work unless I ground the trailer. But for curiosity's sake, let's ground the trailer. Or try to anyways. It's probably not gonna... It's probably not gonna work. But, oh well. The other lights work, so that's all that matters. This little battery pack is nice, I'll tell you. So, let's get these connected. Okay, so this video might not be the longest, and it might not be the most interesting, but it's what we've got going on right at the moment. So, we got a splice, and I really want gloves on because it's cold out, but gloves get in the way. So we got our butt connectors. Where's our wire strippers at? Okay. So this is the side that goes to the right side, and I cut the yellow wire. The yellow is for the left turn signal and tail light. So we're not going to need those. We are going to need this one. This one runs to the little light. We're going to need our 3-way plug for the tail light. I cut the little connector off of them. They're designed, you can just drill right into the trailer, but on these 4-wire plug deals, I like to just run a dedicated ground because then you know it works. You don't have to rely on the trailer. Sometimes that don't work. So white is ground. We're going to wire our plug mainly through this, so we're going to wire our 2 light wires together on one side of a butt connector, and I only use heat shrink butt connectors. Get them on Amazon by the 100 pack for like 10 bucks. So there we got the grounds to the 2 lights. Now what I'll do is I'll grab the grounds, and that cheap wire has broke and exposed itself. Interesting. And it did it again. It mainly did it, well, it really only did it on the ground, which sucks, probably because it's cold. Well, we'll just wrap that with electrical tape when we're done, because I ain't screwing with it now. Like I said, this trailer is only going to get pulled a few times a year, and usually never very far, and usually never at night. But this will affect turn signal and tail lights, so maybe we ought to do a somewhat decent job. So there, our grounds are all hooked up. Black on these, on the lights, is your tail lights, running lights. They'll get hooked together here. And then on the trailer wiring, it's brown. kind of hurt, I'm not gonna lie. Brown to black. This is the busiest side with wires. The other side has just as many connections, but not as many. Well, I mean, it's got just as many wires, but this side just seems busier. Give them a little tug. So and then we've got our two greens. Green is your right turn and tail. So these will get wired together. I'm a little irritated at that wire. The insulation's cracked. Because that's just going to be a good spot for corrosion to get into it. But I have liquid electrical tape and I have regular electrical tape, and we'll just put some of that on it. So, got the greens hooked up. Now the red goes to the yellow, which is your left tail in turn. And these will get wired together. Tug test, and then we heat them up. Now you're not supposed to use a torch because you can burn the wires. The torch is all I got. If you're fast, you won't get the wires too hot. If you're not fast enough, you'll just char the wires a little bit. Oops. I shouldn't let off the trigger because this thing's hard to keep going. Maybe I should have warmed the wires up a little bit before I tried to separate them. Maybe we'll do that on the other. Okay, if they're not heat sealed all the way, that's kind of alright because they're not in the direct weather. I just like it because it helps hold everything together. So, run our pigtail for the light through there. Shove all them wires in there. In there wires. Put the grommet in there. Tuck the wires in there, plug the light in, get the sticky tape off the back. Finagle that thing in there. Come on. Trying to fit 3 of these in there at the same time. About dang near impossible. There we go. Check to make sure the lettering's right, standing up. Not that it matters, but any bit particular. Even all the way. Wonder if I got the other one in all the way. The other one in all the way, so I'm gonna have to redo that on the other side. There we go. Yeah, now it's in all the way. So if we want to, we can we're gonna heat this wire up just a little bit before I split it, so that way maybe it won't crack, because this is gonna get fed through the trailer. It won't matter too much. Got a little heat in it. This will just get butt connectors on it wherever it ends up. Strip everything back a little bit. Get a good old battery jump box. We'll hook the ground up. Let's check the running lights. Oh yeah. We got running lights. Let's check the turn. Oh yeah. We got turn lights. Both sides. Sweet. Cool. So we know the lights work up to this point. So if they don't work from here on out, something else. Now, I get to do the fun part. And I'm not going to bring you guys along because you won't be able to see nothing. I'll probably be cussing a lot. And yeah, I got to go underneath and drill holes and run that wire up to the front. I'm probably going to jack the trailer up and set it on some jack stands, so that way I got plenty of clearance. Run this up to the front, and the next time you see me, we'll be at the front of the truck. And it might be a different day. Might be a different day, but we'll see. Alright, so I got my wires run under, and I figured I was right, and I wouldn't have enough to go all the way to the front. But I had enough to get to where I wanted to go if it was going to end, like, you know, my minimum of where I wanted it to reach, and it was right here at that first upright. And why did I want it to go there? Well, there was lights up there, and I was gonna wire them lights back and put some of these little 3/4 lights in there, but that was gonna be more of a challenge than what I wanted it to be, because the wire that run across here, so the hole's here, but the 2-bit run across is up here, so I'd have to jockey it around. So I just ended up putting some 3/4 lights right there, same height as the ones on the back, just running the wires underneath. I'm using scrap wire that I pulled out of the trailer, so it's working there, and I should have enough wire in that pigtail to run back, I'm hoping. If not, I have this piece of wire here, which I hope is enough. If not, there's going to be a couple extra splices in it, but that's where it's going to be. If I was going to put the yellow lights up top, I would have put some red lights up top in the back, because it would have just messed with my OCD, having lights on the front, not the back. But luckily, for my sanity, it didn't work out that way. So we got them on the bottom, and that's all the lights I'm putting on this trailer. Ain't doing no more. The lights and the wiring hopefully will outlast the trailer. I got a couple questionable angles on the bottom, which they wouldn't be too much to replace. So I mean, this trailer, it's getting to be wore out. As far as, it's not wore out, it's rusting out. So hopefully the wiring and the lights will outlast what the trailer does. When the trailer finally heads to the junkyard, we'll just pull all the lights out of them, use them for a different trailer. So, but I have to stop for the night, and I wanted to get this done because I got stuff to do in here tomorrow that needs to be done right where this trailer's sitting. But I'll do that first thing in the morning and get this thing out of here. We will bring you back and we will wire it the rest of the way up, and we'll show you the results. So we'll see you in the morning. All right, so we're at the front of the trailer as I promised, and it's the next day, but it's not any brighter. But we got our end done. I have enough wire. I got all that wired in. The big junction for the back lights, the front pigtail, and the two side lights. That would be the perfect place for a junction box. And I have a junction box, and I'm pretty sure I bought it for this trailer, but this trailer is just not really worth using it on anymore. So we got her done. I pulled out the unnecessary wires. So what we have at the front is, I wanted to use what was here. So our brown is our running light still. Blue is our ground. Green is right turn. Yellow is left turn. So all the colors are the same except the ground. I was going to use the black for the ground, but it only ran up to right here and was not long enough. And this side light has a brown and a white. Brown for the running lights, white for the ground. That side has a brown for the light and a yellow for the ground, because it was close enough to white that that's what I was going to use. I didn't have a white piece long enough, and I didn't want to cut a new piece. So now we're here at the plug. We got the plug wired in, and I like to put I put the round style crimp-on ends on there instead of just shoving the wire in and tightening it down. That way it gives you a little bit of, if you have to tug on it or your wires get pulled, it gives it that little bit more to stick to. So it's all wired up, and this one has a little light in it to tell you if you've got power at the plug, which helped me when I had this plug. This plug was on my little trailer that I redone, but the wire in that trailer turned out to be junk, and the ground was corroded like 2 feet down the wiring harness. So I had light at the plug, but I didn't have any lights on the trailer. So I ended up, when I redid that, I put a actual four-prong spade deal on it and took this back off, because I originally bought this plug for this trailer. So since we got 4 wires, it's not quite thick enough for the little hold down boot, so we just goobered up with electrical tape, and we'll put this on, and I still have the protective sheath for it. We'll get that on, and it'll be ready to try out. So let's get her buttoned up here. Okay, we got our little hillbilly rigged battery truck temporarily thing hooked up, and you can see we got red there, which means we got power to the marker lights. We got a yellow here and a red here and a tail light, a clearance light, tail light, marker light, marker light. Perfect. So all those work. Now I just gotta check out the tail lights, or the not the tail lights, the turn signal circuits, and make sure those work. And we'll have a rewired certified rust bucket. So yeah, maybe I'll bring you back when I get her hooked up to the truck one day, and we'll check her out. It'll be one day here real soon, so we'll see you then. Well, I told you I'd tell you. I told you I'd tell you. I told you I'd show you what it looks like at night all lit up. And it actually looks better in the camera before I turn the camera on. So I don't know what the deal is with that, but we got lights. Now I said I needed to get it ready to go pick something up, and I did, but we've had a development with the truck, and it's probably going to be expensive. So I had to put that on hold because, of course, check engine light's not on at the moment, but we're having an intermittent issue, which are the worst kind of issues. And let's see here, I got a piece of paper. So we're having those kind of issues. We got all them codes that pop up, and they all have to do with the turbo. We're having turbo actuator issues intermittently. Some of them codes I think are caused by the horsepower addition that the truck has, which isn't much. It's only got 60 horsepower added to it, but it will, the boost on the gauge and everything maxes out at 35, and I believe it will go over that sometimes. Not a lot, but when I want to have a little fun, get a little rowdy, it will max that gauge out, and some of the codes are for the boost reading over the parameters. But the one that throws the check engine light on, I believe, is that PO299, and that is turbo under boost, and I've had it happen 3 times to me. The truck won't build boost, and it revs up to about 1500, and then it starts really falling on its face. It'll get up to 2000, and it just, no power. It'll smoke. So yeah, not looking forward to that. So there'll probably be a video trying to figure that out. I got some other things I need to do to the truck. The coolant reservoir leaks. The rear end fluid needs change. The gear oil in the back, and it needs a filter change. And it's late tonight. I was trying to work on my brother's truck for his Christmas present, and didn't get that done. But yeah, the old 2016 Ram needs some love now, and unfortunately the parts that it needs aren't going to be cheap. So you guys gotta watch my videos and like them, so that way maybe YouTube will pay me. But anyways, there's the finish to the Livestock trailer, and a little bit of I don't know what I want to say, a look into the future of a video that's probably gonna have to happen, unfortunately. But anyways, we'll catch you guys on the next one.